Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round number 1 of the in-season tournament. My name is Ryan Wayne, and I will be the commentator here for tonight's event. For this inaugural in-season tournament, we've got 16 drivers ready to make their name for themselves, as they're going to run the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series vehicles with 110% horsepower across 4 tracks in the next 4 weeks. We'll take a look at the bracket here now for this in-season tournament. Got most of the field in here tonight. Josh Kenyon is one of the lone exceptions not here. So as it stands, it'll be Luke Gallagher advancing to round number 2, with Kenyon not participating. And Derek Skladell is not here either. But other than that, and Logan Bolt is here. So just Josh Kenyon and Derek Skladell, the only 2 currently not in the session. As of right now, it'll be Wyatt Blair and Luke Gallagher advancing to round number 2 next week at Michigan. Like my overlay is messing up here, so we'll go ahead and refresh that real quick. Head back on track here to qualifying. This is Elliot Contra, the number 09. Elliot comes in as the number 7 seed here for this Rebel Valley in-season tournament. At a 31.012, so that'll put him to the top of the charts. Here's the number 1 overall seed in the tournament. This is Marty Schmalem, the number 8. He's facing off against Lee Van Leer in round number 1. Now Cameron Face to the top of the charts. 3 MC Motorsports trucks in the competition here in this in-season tournament. You got Cameron Face, who's the number 5 seed. You also have Logan Bolt, who's the 12 seed. Those 2 are going up against each other here in round number 1. Schmaler's going to stay in P3, though, with that lap. I also want to welcome some of the guys that are here to race for fun, have some fun here in Rebel Valley Sim Club. One of the drivers here is the number 7 of Derek Hitt. See him on the screen right there. That hear what that sponsor is, Duke Cannon. Either way, he's P6 here. There's Daniel Mosteller, probably going to be one of the favorites to win this in-season tournament. See him right there, that number 87 Mountain Dew Dodge Ram. He's coming in as the number 2 seed. He'll be facing off against Rex Jenkins, who is currently 21st here on the speed charts. Wait to see what this number 87 does here. In single-elimination tournament, win and advance. Have Aaron May on track as well. One of the more intriguing matchups here in round number 1 will be the number 6 seed, which is Aaron May. He's going up against the number 11 seed, which is Austin Mitchell. Wait to see what the number 10 does at the line. Coming here for lap number 2. And he goes to a 31.06, so that'll put him up in P7 right behind Derek Hitt. Watch the 87 of Daniel Mosta. Boy, look how high he got. Oh, around he goes. And he's going to be starting at the back here for this race. We also have Diego Acuna here in the number 84, that Delta Eagle Racing Chevrolet. This 110 horsepower increase definitely going to be a challenge here for these drivers. 25 drivers here in this session here for race number 1. The number 5 seed Cameron Face currently on pole right now. Diego Acuna can put this number 84 on the top of the chart. See what he does at the stripe. It's going to be a 31.28, and that's going to be the end of qualifying. Cameron Face will be on the pole. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid. Cameron Face on pole alongside Elliot Contra, the number 09. Row number 2, you got the number 1 seed, Marty Schmalem, squared off against the number 4 seed, Chase Ingram. Row 3, we've got Derek Hitt and Michael Good. Row number 4, Aaron May and that number 10, and Sebastian Sapien. Row number 5, Derek Shaver, the number 10 seed, is side by side with Kendorian Davis. Row number 6, Felix Hammer in the 69, and Nolan Crane in the 44. Wyatt Blair, the number 3 seed, is starting 13th, and Logan Bolt starting P14. The Van Leer starting 15th, with Nathan McLaughlin 16th. Starting 17th, we've got George Carafides and Luke Gallagher, who is automatically advanced. Austin Mitchell, P19, and Diego Acuna is 20th. Nolan Kelly, 21st. Brian Post, 22nd. Rex Jenkins and Daniel Mosto, the 2 fighting off against round 1, are going to be starting 23rd and 24th. And rounding out the rear of the field, we have Mason Lidke in the 52, the number 88 machine. And those are the 25 drivers here on track here for race number 1 tonight at Chicagoland. Let's take a look now at our race analysis and kind of what to expect here. Again, this is a 67-lap race. Only 1 tire set laying around in the pits for these drivers, so tire management is going to be crucial, especially at a track like Chicagoland that needs to choose up tires. Strategy is going to be all over the board as well. We see some drivers split this race in half. Seeing the fuel window between 45 and 47 laps. These drivers to deal with. Also take a look here at a standalone graphic here. Just what you see right now, we got a 98-degree track temp, 83 degrees out there on air temp. A little bit of wind, and I love the Chicagoland Speedway, one of the racier mile-and-a-halfs on the sim. They put on a clinic here for round number 1 of the in-season tournament. Two drivers have clinched their spot into the next round after we got Luke Gallagher, who's advanced after Josh King was not able to make it. And then the other driver advancing is Wyatt Blair, the number 5. Number 3 seed, Wyatt Blair, and the number 9 seed, Luke Gallagher, move on here to round number 2. 14, we have 6 more spots remaining here. We get ready for the start. It's Cameron Face and Elliot Condra leading us down to the green flag. And round number 1 is green from Chicagoland. Good start from both lines. Look at Sebastian Sapien in this number 7. One of the drivers not participating in this in-season tournament, already trying to make some moves. A lot of guys trying to bide their time right now, but Elliot Condra's out front here in this number 9. He's racing against the number 30 of Derek Shaver, who's currently back in 11th. And leading this first lap, it'll be Elliot Condra. 5 are all Chevrolets right now. Again, back here for a battle for 6th place. That's Kendorian Davis side by side with Derek Hitt. You also have Nolan Crane in the 44. He's going up against Chase Ingram. Crane, the number 13 seed, trying to work his way up toward the front. He's up to P7. Andre continuing to lead. We'll take a look at lap times last time by. 30.846. This driver's going to be saving tire here, which will be interesting to see how this all plays out. And Lee Van Leer, the number 60, he was the last person to get in. I saw he was blinking right there in that number 60 truck. He's back there in 19th. He's trying to pull off the upset. See if he can upset Marty Schmela here in this first round. He's got a lot of work to do here in these first 4 laps. But Condra, that bright neon yellow number 09 out front right now by 4/10 of a second. Set his fastest time that last time by. As we look back behind him, that's Cameron Face who's fallen off a little bit in this number 80 truck. Trying to save his tires. His matchup is his MC Motorsports teammate Logan Bolt in the 48. He's back in P14. There's another spot here to Aaron May in the 10. Great battles all over the racetrack. Look at Nathan McLaughlin here in the 57. He's going to shoot it 3 wide on Derek Shaver and Michael Good. Contact there between Good and Shaver. Boy, that's close right there with Austin Mitchell, Logan Bolt, and Derek Shaver. These guys are going to keep it together. Look at Daniel Mostar trying to work his way up there. He's going to go 3 wide up top. Right inside that cockpit of this number 87, you see he's behind Austin Mitchell here in the 51. Well, he's making that outside line work. We'll see how it's going to be like on his tires, but Mostar started at the back, and he has gained 15 spots here from the start of this race. Close call right there with Logan Bolt in the number 48 as he just about crashed that machine. This is some fantastic racing right now. These guys are keeping it green for the most part. Hopefully it's not a little bit of a commentator's curse, but excellent battles all over the racetrack. Chandra on a dominating performance here so far. He's led the first 8 laps, and he's up by 1.2 seconds over Chase Ingram. And how about Sebastian Sapien? Good run here for this number 7 machine. Made limited starts here in Rebel Valley, not part of the in-season tournament, but doing an amazing job so far in P3. These guys continue to battle. We'll take a look here. Mostar still has gained the most spots at the start of this race, up 16 in that number 87 truck. We have Austin Mitchell there in the 51, who's gained 8 spots. Racing against Aaron May, who's not too far up the road. He's separated right now by about 1.6 seconds. See Van Leer on the wall, that number 60. He's going to get it back together as they file back in line here. Fantastic racing so far. We take a look now at this battle for P5. We've got Nolan Crane is 44, Aaron May the 10, and Derek Hitt in the 7. I talked to Aaron May at the start of the broadcast. This was one race he was really looking forward to. Chicagoland is his favorite racetrack, and trying to put that here. Trying to stay in front of this 44 and make the pass. Put Aaron May up to P6. Look who's right there. Daniel Mostar in this 87. Is slowly working his way through this field. He's now at P7 with his pass on Nolan Crane. The Conjur's still out front right now by 1.3 seconds. The next closest competitor, that's Chase Ingram in the number 01. Great battle now here for P3. That's Sebastian Sapien. You saw it. Oh, he's going to hit the fence. Still trying to hang on this number 7 truck as Marty Schmaler works his way to P3. Looks like a problem with Wyatt Blair. He is off the racetrack, but he did register for the session, so it looks like he is going to advance to round number 2. With his matchup, Darius Liddell not participating. Wyatt Blair is now out of the session. It looks like he will be moving on, but he's going to be our first retirement of the race. Let's take a look at the lap times last time by. See which drivers are running some good laps. And right now, the fastest truck on the racetrack is Nathan McLaughlin in the 57. Now, Nathan is not part of this in-season tournament bracket. Close call right there between Aaron May and Derek Hitt. Those two fighting here for P5. And it looks like Aaron May is going to work his way up to the fifth spot here. But from what we're seeing time and scoring, it looks like May, Mosteller, and McLaughlin are the fastest trucks right now on the racetrack. Getting into this green flag run with 15 laps here on these tires. Now Derek Hitt about to lose another spot here with Daniel Mosto in this 87. What kind of strategy will we see as Wood? Look at the 44 sideways right there in front of Nathan McLaughlin. Did a nice job keeping control of that truck. Stay in P7. Condra out front here. There's Marty Schmela. He's been running down this 01 of Chase Ingram. Running some good lap times as of late. You see he's on that back bumper with the number 01. Right on board with the number 1 seed in this tournament, Marty Schmela. We do have a crash. That's Derek Hitt in the number 7. It is a single truck spin. We're going to stay green. I think Condra's gap is starting to dwindle down here. He was up by 1.2 seconds, and I wonder if he kind of burned up his stuff here early on. He's now only ahead by 0.8 of a second over Ingram and Schmela. Take a look at the lap times. Yeah, 32.5 that last time by from the 09 machine. Schmela, Mosteller, May are the 3 fastest trucks on the racetrack that last time by. Definitely making headway here on this long run. Here's another battle here. Austin Mitchell in this 51. Number 11 seed in this tournament. He gets around Michael Good here for P10. Up 9 spots from the start of this race. Look at Derek Shaver in this 30. He's racing against Elliott Condra. See, he's all over the back bumper of the number 44 of Nolan Crane. We'll see what Shaver can do. They work their way in at start number 3. This is for P7. A lot of trucks fanning out right now just to try to get as much grip as they can, look for as much real estate, make as many passes. But back up front, Elliott Condra is struggling right now in this number 09. Ingram and Schmela have both caught this 09. He's falling off this run. Not even, I mean, you take a look at the guys behind him, all running faster compared to this number 09 machine. I think we can hold on here as we are approaching the halfway point of the next 12 laps or so. Got battle now for P4. This is Daniel Mosteller side by side with Aaron May. May is going to hold on to that spot off the outside line. And it is 87 of Mosteller. Condra continues to lead. He's led all 21 laps here in this race. Need to look back through the field here. Our biggest mover so far, Mosteller up 19. Trying to work that back bumper of the number 10 of Aaron May. We're going to have a great battle up front, though, here soon, because Ingram and Schmela have both caught the number 09 of Elliott Condra. So Derek Shaver in this 30 has been putting up good laps on the racetrack as well. Keep your eye on this 30. Last time by a 30.69, a tenth faster compared to our leader. Keep your eye on this number 30, especially if Elliott starts falling off enough. That is one of the battles in that in-season tournament that we talked about. Elliott was a 7 seed, Derek was a 10 seed, but here comes Ingram. Chase Ingram in that McDonald's Chevrolet trying to get to the inside. Can he get clear? No, he will not, and Condra keeps the lead. Marty Schmela just waiting to see what happens here with these two. As Mossler is going to send it in here on Aaron May for P4. May is blinking on my screen. Oh, look at that for the 87. Just about lost it as they're still side by side here going into the next turn. May trying to do a slide job here on this 87. He's going to stay in 4th place, but now we'll see if the 87 can get a run here. We've got McLaughlin and Shaver closing in on these guys as well. Boy, tires are definitely playing a factor here in this race. So now you see the 87 up on the outside. We got a truck coming in. That's the 38 of Nolan Kelly. Again, these guys can go about 45 laps on a tank of fuel, so this either is going to be a strategy call from this 38. What happens here? Looks like it's going to be tires on this number 38 truck. So the first truck on pit road is Nolan Kelly. Strategy call from him to try to get some track position and work his way up closer toward the front. Connor's been able to retain this lead. Heading in now with 41 to go. Next time by. Also, how about the number 8 of Marty Schmela has worked his way up to P2. With some great lap times as well. One of the fastest trucks on the racetrack. Around Marty Schmela. Has 2 wins on this 2026 campaign. Trying to go for win number 3 here in Rebel Valley this season. We're at 40 to go this time by from Chicagoland. Field's starting to get spread out here. You got these 3 trucks still trying to battle it out. And you got Nathan McLaughlin in P5. There's Aaron May in 6th. He's fighting with Derek Shaver here for 6th place. Closest battle right now we have for the in-season tournament. Looking at it that way, I guess it's going to be Aaron May in the 10 and Austin Mitchell in the 51. Also have Nolan Crane and Chase Ingram separated by 6 positions. So those are the closest battles right now in terms of the in-season tournament. And starting to fall off here on this run. That's Derek Shaver now on the outside of Aaron May. Here, Austin Mitchell, that's just what you want to see. May trying to get that inside run. He's not going to be able to get clear. Looks like Derek Shaver is going to work his way up to P6. I was kind of worried about Elliot Condren's number 09. He should back to the front of this field, but he's done a nice job staying out in front of these guys. All the 8 close in on him, and that dirty air is affecting this number 8 truck. He's the trail behind this 09 of Elliot Condren. Taylor closing in here. We'll see if he makes a run down into turn 1. He's going to stay right behind this 09 machine. Look at the fall off right now in this race. These guys running late 32.9s, some guys even into 33s. A lot of drivers struggling for grip right now as we get on this long green flag run. Approach this halfway point as well. Who's going to be the first driver to come down pit road? Saw the number 38 of Nolan Kelly pit the lap down, but he was a second faster compared to the leaders. How much that's going to play a factor here? These guys are just going to run it dry. There's the 8 of Schmela up on that outside line. And you have Condra in the 09. Ingram has done a nice job staying in the wake of this number 8. Take a look at the riding on board here with Chase Ingram. Might have cursed him a little bit. He got a little bit too high into the marbles and kissed that outside wall. Lost a little bit of ground there compared to our leaders, but here we go. We've got a truck coming on the pit road. That's Cameron Face, the number 80, right at the halfway point. Now his matchup is Logan Bolton, the number 48. The big call here for this 80. We'll see if the other MC Motorsports car, that's Marty Schmela, we'll see if he comes down the pit. Our first driver coming into pit road, that's Cameron Face in the 80. Schmela now is going to send it down here for the lead. These guys continue to battle. Daniel Mossler is slowly closing in as well. Running a 32.84 that last time by. He's closing in on these guys, so not sleep on Daniel Mossler. It's now under a second now with this 87 truck. Now Schmela tries to work his way for the lead. Trying to become our first leader here in today's race. McLaughlin now to pit road in this 57. Was running in 5th place before coming down pit road, and he's going to come in for his lone set of tires. Felix Hammer as well, the 69, also on pit road. See what happens. Oh, here comes the 09. He's coming down pit road along with Chase Ingram in the 01. Green flag pit stops now starting here on lap number 37. We'll see which other cars or other trucks will come in. We got Aaron May as well. His teammates with Elliott Condra, so no surprise to see the 10 on pit road. We also have Nolan Crane in the 44. Watch the pit stops here on the right. We're now going to look at Mari Schmela, who's leading for the first time tonight. He's got a big gap right now over his matchup. That's Liban Van Leer. He's about 10 seconds ahead of the number 60. See what Marty can do here with 30 to go. Eric Shaver now in pit road as well in that number 30. Van Leer. Gallagher still on the racetrack as well in that 00. Again, he is advanced after the... sorry about that. Luke Gallagher has advanced after Josh Kenyon did not race here tonight. Gallagher will be moving on to round number 2. Now Gallagher will come down pit road this time. Looks like Felix Hammer, long stop here. Oh, we got a truck that just spawned. That's Logan Bolt, the 48. Looks like he missed pit road, and he's going to get it back together, but a tough right there for the 48 of Logan Bolt. That's going to severely hinder his chances to advance to round number 2. He's going to bring that 48 to pit road here for some tires. Daniel Mosteller closing in this gap now on Marty Schmela. You take a look at the lap times last time by. Mosteller 33.002. Diego Cunha running some good laps as well at 32.911. He's 10 seconds back. We'll see what happens here. Oh, the sideways there for the 8 of Marty Schmela. Right now, the highest that pitted is the 09 of Elliott Condra. He is in 12th place right now. He pit on lap 36. Here comes the 8 on the pit road. Here is the Schmela. He's going to relinquish the lead over to Daniel Mosteller, the number 87. Started at the tail end of the field after crashing and qualifying his second lap. Not even able to post lap because of his crash, and now he's leading this race here for the first time tonight. His matchup is Rex Jenkins, the 60. Guys running toward the tail end of their field run right now. See how long this 87 is going to stay out there. Diego Cunha still out there. Liban Van Leer, the 60, along with George Carafides, and Dorian Davis, Sebastian Sapien. Rex Jenkins, Brian Post. Those are the 8 drivers that have not pitted here in this race. But 87 is just losing a bunch of spots right now, running it this long. Saw McLaughlin pitted a few laps earlier, or a lap early compared to Elliott Contra. He's not too far behind this 09, but... Oh, we got one truck in the grass right there. I think that's Brian Post of the 64 who missed pit road. Not the first driver that has missed pit road here today. He's one of the drivers not participating in the in-season tournament. He's going to... that car or truck back on the surface. Mosteller is going to... About the 01 of Chase Ingram is going to be around this 87. Derek Hitt out of the race after crashing. Engine failure caused by internet failure. So Derek Hitt is done for tonight in that number 7. So have 23 trucks, or 22 trucks on the racetrack. Yeah, Mosteller, Acuna, Van Leer. These guys on back, they're just going to try to run this as long as they can. They get a caution now. It's going to be a big break for them. They'll have the freshest tires compared to everybody else. Post now off the pit road. Race for the win is essentially going to be between the 09 of Elliott Contra and the 57 of Nathan McLaughlin. Head back now to Contra in the 09. There he is on the backstretch. Now in the middle of turn number 3. And look at the gap on the left-hand side of your screen, just continually closing here. These guys continue to run this fuel out. Here comes Mosteller. He just about screwed up pit road right there, but he's going to bring it to the bench of his virtual crew. He's coming in now here on lap number 44. Diego Cunha is now going to lead lap in this 84. Definitely Van Leer out there, George Karafides, Dorian Davis, Sebastian Sapien, and Rex Jenkins. So Sapien's on pit road now, along with Rex Jenkins. His matchup was Daniel Mosteller. See Cunha now out front by 2 seconds over the Van Leer. There's the driver that is in the best position right now, Elliott Contra in the 09. Out at lap number 36. Here at the rest of the field. So when this all cycles out, it's going to be Elliott Contra out front. Nathan McLaughlin will be second. So Kelly on pit road again. Chase Ingram's third. Derek Shaver has worked his way up to fourth. Keep in mind his matchup is Elliott Contra. So have to keep an eye on that. And then you've got Cullen Crane there in the 5th position. Crane and Chase Ingram are part of that in-season tournament. That's the matchup. Oh, we got... Who was that up there that just had contact with Logan Bolt? That is Brian Post in the 64, who's run off the course there. Now the leaders are on pit road. Acuna and Van Leer both in the pits this time for their scheduled service. We're going to hope for a caution here. That's going to be Van Leer's best hope if he wants to upset Marty Schmela. He's going to miss his pit stall, so he's going to have to hope for a caution if he wants to have a chance to advance to round number 2 of the in-season tournament. Now we have the green flag cycle is complete with Elliott Contra out front in number 09. Derek Shaver still 5 seconds back. He's going to have to hope for a miracle here in his last 19 laps. He wants to advance to round 2. Chase Ingram holding on right there. He is the number 4 seed in this tournament. His closest matchup is Nolan Crane. Crane is 3.4 seconds back from the race leader. Catching up here to the 48 of Logan Bolt. Logan is going up against Cameron Face. Right now he's running 15th. Cameron right there, he's one of the first drivers to come in during that green flag cycle. I think he's going to be paying the price this run. I think he's comfortable knowing that he's going to advance to round number 2. I think he's just taking it easy. And Austin Mitchell there in the 51. He's going up against Aaron May in the 10. Those two are only separated by 1 position. So that's going to be the battle there with 18 to go. It's going to be between the 51 and the 10. Move on to round number 2. That's going to be a close battle as well. Rex Jenkins has supposedly crashed in the 60. Don't see him on screen, so we're going to go ahead and just flip back to our normal TV cameras where Elliott Condra leads. He's been the dominant truck here today, leading 38 laps here so far. Closing in on that. That's the number 10 of George Carapitas. He is on much fresher tires compared to the number 09. On the outside, he's going to go. So Carapitas now back on the lead lap. With Gallagher now down pit road. He's got damage there on that right front of that 00 machine. He's going to park, but he will be moving on to round 2 with Josh Kenyon not making it tonight. Condra out front by 1.2 seconds. I'm going to keep my eye on Marty Schmela, who's one of the drivers hit up lap 40. He is on 4-lap pressure tires compared to the number 09 of Elliott Condra. Goes in here on Derek Shaver in 30, came in at lap 37. And Aaron May there in 6th place. He's catching up to Sebastian Sapien. Owen Crane in 44. Did the same lap as Chase Ingram. The 4 versus 13 matchup. Daniel Mosteller is pretty much advanced to round number 2, with Rex Jenkins being out of the race. So Mosteller will advance to round number 2. He'll be facing off against either Elliott Condra or Derek Shaver. Condra right now up by 1.5 seconds. We got a battle now for 2nd place. This is Chase Ingram and Nathan McLaughlin fighting for 2nd. $13 laps to go here from Chicagoland. It's been clean and green so far. Hopefully it's not a commentator's curse. This has been Elliott Condra's race for the most part. He has dominated the majority of the 54 laps we have run here tonight. He's just trying to close the deal. Head back now here for P2. Ingram and McLaughlin still fighting side by side, and Ingram goes up a 2nd. Sebastian Sapien now on pit road. Mela up to 4th. Derek Shaver back in 5th. Got a battle now for 6th place. These two have been going at it since the start of the green flag run. It's Daniel Mosteller and Aaron May. They're side by side here for 6th. Stands right now, Aaron May would be advancing to round number 2. He'll go up against Wyatt Blair. If this result stands here with 11 to go. Take a look at some other matchups here right now. Well, Marty Schmela has got a big advantage over Luban Van Leer. He should feel confident that he'll advance to round number 2. Josh Kenyon and Luke Gallagher. Luke Gallagher currently has the advantage to go to round number 2. We also have Chase Ingram and Owen Crane. Ingram right now running in 2nd. Crane is back to 9th as he just lost a spot to Austin Mitchell. Oh, we've got a truck up against the wall there. We'll have to see on the chase cam who that is. I think that's Brian Post in the 64. And maybe Felix Hammer in the 69. Boy, that is something you do not want to see late in this race. That's definitely going to play into factor for guys that pitted late during that cycle. Diego Cunha in the 84 pit at lap 47. Nine laps to go. Can these drivers hold on for 9 more laps? Daniel Mosteller starting to close in this gap. At number 87, he hit at lap number 45, right at the edge of that fuel run. That gap is now under 3 seconds. You might have to keep your eye on this 87. I'm getting to make this race win, but it's 8 to go this time. Now we got another battle here for second place. Now how about Marty Schmela? He pitted at lap 40, and he works his way up to P2 around Chase Ingram. He's on 4 lap pressure tires compared to the 09 of Elliott Conley. Take a look at the field going around the racetrack here with 7 to go. Cameron Face holding on to 10th place. Nursing this home. Daniel Mostow, that gap is now about at 2 seconds. He is closed into the back bumper here in the 01 of Chase Ingram. See where he's going to go. He's going to work to the outside right quarter panel of that 01. See if he can get clear going into 1. Well, sideways right there for the 09. And Daniel Mostow has worked his way up to number 3 here with 6 to go. He stealed this away with the freshest tires in the field. Schmela only back by 1.2, but it's 5 to go for Elliott Condra. Oh, that's Kendorian Davis who went around to number 1. He is off track, single truck spin. They're going to keep it green. Now Schmela under fire here for the number 2 seed. That's Daniel Mostow in the 87. Can Elliott Condra hold on with 5 laps to go? Or 4 to go this time. Mostow working his way to the outside here, just like he made that pass on Ingram going into 1. Side by side, we'll see if Schmela puts up a fight. Mostow works his way up to P2 here. It's going to be 3 to go next time by. 5 miles remaining here in this race. Next time at the stripe. They're catching up to the 48 of Logan Bolt. Mostow now with about half a second. Continually closing the gap here on Elliott Condra. Now down to 0.4 of a second. We're back behind the number 09 of Elliott Condra. What can he do to stop the advance from Daniel Mostow? Next time on the stripe, it's going to be 2 laps of racing to go here from Chicagoland. Our closest battle for the in-season tournament right now is Aaron May and Austin Mitchell. Those two separated by 1.5 seconds. But here comes Mostow. Elliott Condra's had a hard time in turn number 2, but here comes Mostow to the inside. In at lap 45, 9 lap pressure tires. They're going to be side by side here. It's going to be 1 lap to go. Next time to strike. Condra and Mostow beating and banging. 1 to go here from Chicagoland. Who is going to have the advantage? They're side by side going into 1. Is it going to be the Mountain Dew Dodge or the EPI Chevrolet? These two have advanced no matter what happens. They're still side by side. Condra and Mostow. Is Mostow going to send into 3? Yes, he will. Are they going to lean bumpers? Condra on the outside. Mostow on the inside. It's going to be a photo finish here for round number 1. Mostow and Condra at the stripe. Daniel Mostow gets it done. How about that? 67 laps, all green, and what a finish. Daniel Mostow pulls it off here at Chicagoland. That is a battle in race number 1. 67 laps, all green. We had green flag pit cycles. And Daniel Mostow gets his 8th win here in Rebel Valley Sim Club. And what a performance for this 87 Mountain Dew Ram. give a call to Elliot Condra. Was able to fight Daniel Mosteller tooth and nail there on 9-lap older tires, but what a finish here in race number 1. Very fitting, Dirty Mountain Dew on that car. His nickname, what you see on the name rail, Dirty Demos. What a win for Daniel Mosteller. We'll get his thoughts in the post-race interview over on our Discord. Make sure to scan that QR code in the top right corner to join Discord for the Rebel Valley Sim Club server. But what a race in race number 1. We'll go ahead and head over now to our interviews channel. Let's interview our race winner. All right, Daniel Mosteller, this is Ryan Wayne in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, Daniel, what a drive right there. The fresher tires paid off for you in the end. You had 9-lap advantage over the number 09 of Elliot Condra. Elliot fought you tooth and nail right there on that final lap, but in the end, you were able to win by 1/1000th of a second. One of the closest finish we've ever had on a 1.5-mile racetrack. And talk to us about how you were able to make your move around the 09 of Elliot Condra, and what was your plan there to run it until the end of the fuel run there?
Yeah, well, that plan was kind of to protect myself if there was a yellow. 'Cause I obviously don't want to get bounced first round of the bracket, and I think I had the competitive advantage over who I was facing, but you could obviously get lucky with a caution and tire strategy flips. So I didn't want to take the chance and I guess like pit early mid run, and then we get a yellow maybe 10-15 laps later, like lap 45ish. So I ran longer to kind of protect myself from that. I wanted to go all the way to the end of the fuel run, but I kind of felt like my tires were giving out, and I felt like I had ran long enough to where I'd be fine regardless. And I pit there, and it was like a 15, 16-second gap, and I was uh, a little worried about getting back up there. But once I saw myself going like a second faster a lap with about 20 to go, I knew it was definitely in the cards for me to get up there. And honestly, I got very lucky with traffic, and I was very efficient with my passes. I thought I was gonna get by Elliot easier there, but that lapper in front of us really made that last pass super hard. But definitely one of the more, I guess honestly, it feels like it's one of the most well-rounded like wins I've had on this game. I don't think I've ever run long before and have it like pay off like that before. So I'm very happy.
Well, that was a fantastic finish, and ironically enough, you're going to be facing Elliot Condra in round number 2 for at Michigan. So maybe a little bit of a preview of kind of what to expect next week.
Yeah, about that. I don't know if I'll be there. Hopefully, I will be. Um, if not, it's the gift. But regardless, I had a lot of fun tonight. I'll probably show up for the next race. I had a lot of fun. I appreciate you putting this on. It's a great competition to have, and that was a really fun flag to flag race.
Yeah, definitely one of the more fun races we've had on the channel, and thank you for the compliments, man. It's awesome having you here, and once again, congratulations. I think it's your 8th win here in Rebel Valley Sim Club this year.
Yeah, thank you, man.
All right, and that is Daniel Mosteller, who's going to come away with the victory tonight. And we're going to interview one more person here. We got Elliot Condra here in the booth. Elliot Condra, this is Ryan Wayne. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, you were one of the drivers that pitted early. One of the earliest drivers to pit. Came in at lap number 36. Tried to get a little bit of a tire advantage. It worked out for you, but right at the end, you had that battle with Daniel Mosteller. Talk to us about your strategy and what you felt like you could have done a little bit better to hold off the 87 of Mosteller.
Well, the strategy was kind of just to lead as much as possible. Clean air is really important in the truck, so I was just hoping to keep that the entire race, which I was able to. And then I know Demos was going to be coming on new tires. He was flying. He had the tire advantage. I was kind of surprised that I was able to pin him down to the bottom as easily as I was able to there. But then out of 3 and 4 on the last lap, I just like stuttered on the throttle, I guess. And once I didn't get on the throttle instantly, he was able to get the run out of the corner and get the win.
I do want to ask you from the driver's seat, how the truck felt overall. Did you have any experience? Was it more of a tight condition, or did you have more of a problem with rear grip as the run progressed?
On the first run, it was pretty loose, which I absolutely loved. The second run, it was kind of tight. It was pretty stable. It was more stable though. I really liked how it felt though overall.
Either way, I know it was not the end result. I know you wanted to get the victory tonight, since considering you led the most laps. But either way, you're advancing to round number 2 regardless. Your matchup was Derek Shaver, and he ended up coming home in P6. So you'll be going up against Daniel Mosteller in round number 2 at Michigan. And best of luck in round 2. Thank you for taking time for an interview.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right, and that is Elliot Condra. Be advancing to round number 2. We've got 2 more drivers in here, and then we'll head over to race number 2. We'll start with Chase Ingram. So, Chase Ingram, it's Ryan Way in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
All right, Chase, you ran in the top 5 pretty much all day long. Ended up in P4. You'll be advancing to round number 2 as well. You're going to be going up against Cameron Face out of MC Motorsports in your second round matchup from the 4 versus 5. But talk to us about how your race overall and how you felt with the truck.
It was actually quite a fun race. I wish I could have been able to save my tires a little bit better, but overall, pretty fun. I was surprisingly good. I was not expecting to be good, but I ran pretty much like second and third the whole race, and ended up getting P4 because of Demos on the alternate strategy. I saw Elliot was pitting, so I rushed down. So I basically tried to pull a Kyle Larson and rush down pit road with him, and it kind of worked. I'm still really bad at maintaining pit speed on pit road, so I was a little slow on pit road. But yeah, ever since the update, it's just been a little difficult. But managed to get P4. I'm happy with it. I beat Nolan Crane, and I had my leg in a position where I had my left leg in a position where it was like bent to the left, or well, top of my leg went left, bottom of my leg went right to hit the brake pedal, and now my knee is sore and it hurts to walk on. So yay.
Well, pain, you were able to suffer through the pain and advance to round number 2. I wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
All right, we've got one more person we're going to interview. He's also on our Discord channel here for interviews, and that's Aaron May, the number 10. Aaron May, this is Ryan Way in the booth. You got a copy?
Good job. Good job.
Yes, sir.
All right, Aaron. You mentioned to me before the start of the broadcast, Chicagoland was one of your favorite racetracks. It looks like you were probably one of the closer battles here in the bracket. You were able to hold off Austin Mitchell, and you'll be going on to round number 2, where you'll be facing off against Wyatt Blair at Michigan. Talk to us about your race and how the truck felt as you finished P7 here tonight.
Well, to be honest with you, that was probably the worst I've ever felt at Chicagoland in a long, long time. Like, I've not felt that bad, like, ever since I started iRacing, to be quite honest with you. So that was kind of a scary situation, and Austin was starting to gain on me that final run, and I'm like, uh-oh, this is not going to end well. But luckily, I was able to hang on to the position and finish ahead of him and able to move on to round 2. So mission complete there. I just wish I was able to be more comfortable there, to be honest with you. I was never comfortable the whole race.
We talked to Elliot and in the interviews. Did you feel more loose during that first run as well? Same conditions you experienced along with 09?
Yes, I felt very loose, especially coming out of turn 2, which is which I know turn 2 at Chicagoland you could get loose, but today, and I think it was due to the extra horsepower. I just got to get better with driving with the extra horsepower. But today it was the worst I've ever felt it in a while. But otherwise, but still happy to move on to round 2.
Yes, he'll be moving on to round number 2 to face against Wyatt Blair. That'll be an interesting matchup there. So we are going to now cut the field down to 8 drivers heading into next week at Michigan. Aaron, thank you for taking the time for the interview, and best of luck moving forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, and that is Aaron May, MC Motorsports, and as Marty Shmela said, with Chicagoland a top 5 RVSC race of all time. I might have to agree with you there, Marty. That was a fantastic battle. 67 laps of green flag action. We did have a couple of solo single truck spins, but all in all, what a fantastic showing here for our first round number 1 here in the in-season tournament. Went off with a bang. So we'll go ahead and give me about 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to do one more race tonight, and it's going to be a little fun race. That race will also be password protected. We're going to use street stocks at Charlotte Motor Speedway, just as a little fun run. That'll be 30 laps. So give me about 5 to 10 minutes to get that set up. I will be right back. All right, welcome here to race number 2 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway with the Street Stocks. We're gonna have a fun race number 2 tonight to close out the night here for Rebel Valley Sim Club. Some interesting racing action here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Felix Hammer on track. He raced in race number 1. Got a couple guys in here as well. We got Xavier Dawkins Baptiste, the number 13. And we do have a breaking development as well. So most of the bracket has been filled out, except we're going to have a 1v1 duel. This was decided over on the Discord since both drivers weren't able to race. They've decided to do a 1v1 duel, so it's going to be between Derek Squadell, who's the number 14 seed, and the number 3 seed of Wyatt Blair. They're going to decide to do a 1v1 race, and that will decide who will advance here out of their bracket. Originally thought it was going to be Wyatt Blair since he raced in race number 1, but those two decide to come to agreement, and they'll just go through it that way. Have one more game or race to determine our lineup here for round number 2. We'll go ahead and take a look at that live bracket now, just to kind of see everything. So it's going to be Marty Schmela and Luke Gallagher going off in round 2. Chase Ingerman, Cameron Face, Daniel Mosteller, and Elliot Condra. And then the winner between Wyatt Blair and Derek Squadell will be advancing here to face Aaron May in round number 2 at Michigan. Round 2 has been set. Just need one more battle here. That's between the 3 seed Wyatt Blair and the 14 seed of Derek Squadell. Watch drivers currently on track right now. This is Derek Shaver, the number 30. He was eliminated in round number 1. Had a great finish, but tougher matchup with Elliot Condra. Will not be advancing to round 2. He's looking to bounce back here. Gotta love the live timing screwing up there a little bit. Mason Litke in the number 88. Xavier Dawkins Baptiste. Our winner from race 1 is also here. That's Daniel Mosteller, the number 87. Dale Earnhardt throwback to Dirty Demos. Cameron Face, number 80. Yeah, he just took it easy. He'll be moving in round 2. There's Derek Squadell in the 51. Now, we did not see him in race number 1. He's going to be here in race 2. So this battle, but we'll have to keep our eye on the battle between the 51 and the number, I believe Wyatt Blair will be the number 5. Not currently voted in session yet, but be between those two to advance to round number 2. Posted in here on the tail end of practice is it's going to be Mason Lidke, who's currently the fastest right now. 36.404. Wait this out here. That's going to be the end of practice. We'll get ready to move on here to our qualifying session very soon. All right, now we're going to transition over to qualifying. For anyone that just joined here on the broadcast, our in-season tournament field has mostly been set. We have one more matchup that still needs to be determined, and that's going to be Derek Slidell and Wyatt Blair. The winner of that matchup in this race will be moving on to face Aaron May next week at Michigan. So one more matchup here to be set before we move on here to Michigan this week for a 50-lap race. Take a look here at the 88. That is Mason Lidke. He was the fastest in practice. One of the MC Motorsports drivers. That's definitely not going to count for him. Qualifying is officially underway as we watch now the number 30 of Derek Shaver. He just blinked out. There's Wyatt Blair. Typically runs the 5. He's in the 88 here tonight. Now we saw Wyatt in race number 1. I believe he lagged out or something as he finished tail end of the field. There was an agreement toward the tail end of the Chicagoland race for those two decided to battle it out 1v1. See who comes out of that bracket. Youngblood goes to the top, 36.962. It's about Wyatt Youngblood. There's Slidell, the aforementioned Slidell in the 51. Winner between Derek Slidell and Wyatt Blair will be facing off against Aaron May next week at Michigan. Oh, Victor Kuz in this number 15. Worked his way up to P2. We saw him run at last run, I believe it was the Formula V's at Limebrock Park. Logan Bolt to the top. Derek Shaver now to the top of the charts. We'll see what the 15 does here on this lap. He's still going to stay at a 37.05. Now Cameron Face to the top of the charts in the 80. Lane Sanders in here as well. Drive the number 17. There's the Asphalt, the 2026 Asphalt 500 champ. That is Zayden Cortines, making his third start so far in Rebel Valley this year. Shmela puts down a heater lap, a 36.892. There's Mason Lidke in the 88. He's going to be P9. And Sanders will be P7 in that Camping World car. Brian Post in the 64. Josh Kenyon was not able to make race number 1. Last time we saw him on the street stocks, he ended up finishing top 5 at Oxford Plains. Throwback paint scheme. And Kenyon will be back in 13th. Just that number as well. Watch Brian Post here. He's already run his 2 laps, so he'll be back in 14th. He just tries to murder the infield wall right there on the backstretch. All right, now closing in on the final 20 seconds here of this qualifying session. I don't see anybody else currently on track, so we've got 18 drivers that have posted a time all the way back to Luke Gallagher. The MC Motorsports front row once we go green. We wait for the time to expire. That's going to be the end of qualifying. And it's going to be Marty Schmela on the pole. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup. Marty Schmela and Cameron Pace are going to lead an MC Motorsports front row here for the start of this race. Row 2, you have Derek Shaver and Logan Bolt. Row number 3, Wyatt Youngblood and Chase Ingram. Row 4, you have Lane Sanders and Zayden Cortinez. Row number 5, Mason Lidke and Liban Van Leer. Victor Kuz and Sebastian Sapien will be in row 6, matching paint scheme as well. Row 7, you have Josh Kenyon and Brian Post. Row number 8, Wyatt Blair and Derek Skladell, those two fighting for the final spot into round number 2. And Felix Hammer and Luke Gallagher are 17th and 18th. Daniel Mosteller, Aaron May, I believe, is going to be at the control for the admin tonight. And Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez and Xavier Dawkins-Baptiste will round out our 21-car field. Field sets idle now on pit road. We're waiting very shortly to go back to racing here. What a battle we have in store. Got a fun combo with Street Stocks at Charlotte, one of the free combos on the service. Also got a battle here for the final spot in round 2 between Wyatt Blair and Derek Skladell. Those two are going to be starting side by side with each other in row number 8. Getting ready to go to racing here from Charlotte. Who will get it done here with the Street Stocks as we are getting ready to roll off the pit road. What should be a fantastic race to recap the night. I currently do not see Wyatt Blair in the session, so we'll have to determine that. Who advances there. I don't know if he lagged out. I don't see Zayden Cortinez either. That's going to be the number 8 of Marty Schmela and the 80 of Cameron Pace leading us down to the green. And Blair still on pit road. Like he missed the start, so that's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. The pace car is on the pit road. Here we go, here for our final race of the night. And we're underway here from Charlotte. Three wide already here at the start. That's Wyatt Youngblood, and that Dale Earnhardt number 3 is going to be 3 wide here. Fight here with Derek Shaver, and that is the 51 of Logan Bolt. He runs the 48. Contact there with Shaver and Bolt. Oh, we had another crash right there, potentially with Sebastian Sapien and Victor Kuz. Guys keep it together here as Cameron Pace leads lap number 1. A That's late. Oh, contact. Shaver gets into Kenyon. More cars on the wall. That's the 15 of Coos. No caution as of yet. We're going to stay green. It's just a 3-car pack right now with Face, Schmela, and Youngblood. And Bolt, Sanders, then there's Ingram and Mason Lithke right there as well. Oh, we've got a couple cars sliding down the track. That was Marty Schmela, the 8th, who was running second place at the time. Still no caution as of yet, but we're going to stay green. It's Cameron Face now out front by 1.3 seconds. Wild start here in race number 2. Main battle we're looking at right now is going to be for the spot to get into the next round. You have Derek Skladell in the 51, who's currently running in 5th. You see him right there, that JBL car. And then Wyatt Blair, who saw start on pit road. He's all the way back in 17th. He's going to have to hope for a caution if he wants to get his way back up toward the front. It's Cameron Face right now by 1.1 seconds. How about Sebastian Sapien in this number 48? He's up 10 spots from the start of this race. Ingram trying to work his way down to the bottom here for Derek Skladell. He's got help from the 00 of Luke Gallagher. Well sideways there in that number 51. Look at this huge train there. That's Daniel Bosteller in the 87, who's the last car in that train. Guys continue to try to get up there. Up to the number 80 of Cameron Face. Now Derek Skladell blinking out. Back here in the battle for 4th now with Sapien and Chase Ingram. These guys have now caught the 80 of Cameron Face, who might be a sitting duck right here. It's going to be 25 to go next time by. See Josh Kenyon still right there stuck at the bottom of the racetrack. Parked right there. 15 cars in this pack. There's Wyatt Blair in the 88, trying to get some help here from Marty Schmela. Gap right now between those two. It's about 6 seconds. They're going to have a lot of time here. There's Sanders now making a move on Logan Bolt. They'll have 15 cars in this pack, all with a chance to win it. If you're Derek Skladell right now, you can just ride at this point. Don't need to push it. You've got to make enough gap over Wyatt Blair to advance into round number 2. Oh, we got a spin. I think that's the 22. That's Lieben Van Leer. Lieben Van Leer, the 22. Single car spin. We're going to stay green. This racing is pure chaos. This is probably about to be a wreck to happen. I don't know how they held on to it. That was Lane Sanders, Derek Skladell. I don't know how those guys held on right there on the backstretch. I thought that was going to be a wreck waiting to happen. Guys continue to battle here. Cameron Face has got a great view right now. Speed back of the gearbox in this number 80 machine. Ingram trying to get a run here on the outside on the 80. Daniel Mostler started the back in this field. He's already worked his way up to 3rd. And give a call to Luke Gallagher as well, that 00. Worked his way up to P3 here as he's trying to push the 80 of Cameron Face. pack starting to dissipate here a little bit. Guys continue to battle. It's Luigi Gonzalez. We saw the number 5 at Injured Cars machine that just got sideways there, but starting to see two lines form up once again. Ingram on the outside, and Luke Gallagher makes contact. Around goes Luke Gallagher right in front of the pack. And the caution flag is out for the first time tonight. That is an awesome camera angle we just had right there of that spin. You saw that happen live. Another car there that looks like it spun around. Trying to figure out who it is. I think that's the 13 of Xavier Dawkins-Baptiste. But our first caution today here on lap 11. Not what you wanted to see for Derek Slidell, and a big break for Wyatt Blair as he's going to catch back at the tail end of this pack. All right, let's take a look at what happened to bring out the caution. Spin's already happening on the timestamp. Let's back this up just a little bit. There's Luke right there. Did he get loose? Yes, he did. He got loose underneath the 87 Daniel Mosteller, and it just sent him around. 13 is going to get collected as well. That was Xavier Dawkins-Baptiste, and it continued on a further ahead with the 69 of Felix Hammer, and that's the 48 of Sebastian Sapien. That's what brought us under caution here for the first time tonight. Got a lot of cars on pit road. There's Zayden Cortinez in the 50. Sebastian Sapien in the 48. You also have Felix Hammer in the 69. Luke Gallagher and Daniel Mosteller. Xavier Dawkins-Baptiste. So those guys are all on pit road here, bearing damage. We're already at 1 to green. A quick call right there. We're at 1 to green here for this restart. Lap 13, we go back racing. Take a look here at the 80 of Cameron Face. He's been the dominant car here today. He has led I think he's led every lap so far in this number 80 machine. Trying to get it done. And right alongside him will be his matchup for round number 2. That is Chase Ingram. He's side by side here, going to the green. Tries to hurry their way back up. Here we go. It's going to be Cameron Face and Chase Ingram. We're back underway. And a poor start by this. Oh, we're going to have a crash right here. I think that's Mason Litkey and Lane Sanders. I don't know how they held on to it, but we're still green. Derek Slidell in the number 51 trying to work his way to the lead here. Right on the nose here of Derek Slidell, right behind Cameron Face. Face protecting that bottom line. Here comes Chase Ingram, and he's going to turn Cameron Face. Around goes the 80, and he's going to collect the 51 of Logan Bolt. That's Brian Post. And a huge crash for Brian Post as he flips in the infield grass. The Band Van Leer also involved in the 22. Brian Post up on his side. That is the entrance of turn number 1. We're under caution here for the second time tonight. See the crinkled up damage there for Cameron Face in the 80. All right, let's take a look what happened. This all started here from the lead. Let's watch the 01 and the 80. It's kind of hard to say right there. Brian Post. Wyatt Blair got a piece of it as well. Watch the 64. It's just going to flip over. It's laying right on his side. We're under caution here for the second time. When it's all said and done, Wyatt Youngblood is going to take over now the race lead, that number 3 machine. A lot of cars now on pit road to repair some damage. Big break for guys like Luke Gallagher, who saw spin in that first caution. He's now up to P6. A lot of cars now on pit road trying to repair some damage. Baptiste, there's Lane Sanders. Logan Bolt is on pit road, along with Levan Van Leer, Sebastian Sapien. Like they were able to get Brian Post flipped back over, but yeah, he's not going to be able to continue with that damage. Wyatt Blair also out of the race in that number 88 machine. That's going to be big for the in-season tournament. If he's not able to get back on the racetrack, that means Derek Skladell will be advancing to round number 2. Cameron Face is done for the day after his crash. We are 1 to green this time by. It'll be go back to racing gear on lap number 18. Logan Bolt come back onto the racetrack. Let's hammer. I still can't believe Brian Post is trying to work his way around the track with that damage. I don't manifest him causing a caution with that damage, but he needs to be at the tail end of the line here for this restart. $15 getting his laps back. That is Victor Kuz. Multiple laps down. Youngblood, Schmela, Ingram, Skladell, and Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez. That is going to be our top 5 here for this restart. Ace car is off. Youngblood and Schmela lead us down, and we're back underway. No one has the advantage right now here through turn number 1. Guys continue to battle side by side. It's 3 rows, 2 by 2. But these cars are getting a little herky-jerky right now, especially in turn 3. We saw that happen with the first caution with Luke Gallagher in the 00. Works that outside line, but Marty Schmela goes to the point. If you're Derek Skladell, you can just pretty much ride at this point with Wyatt Blair out of the race. Derek Skladell will be advancing to round number 2 next week at Michigan. Gallagher around he goes again to the 00. He's going to hold on to it, but Luke Gallagher is going to lose this pack here with 11 to go. Contact with Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez and Wyatt Youngblood. That sends Youngblood up the racetrack. Lane Sanders has not been afraid to make a move, and there he is in that 17. He's going to go 3 wide here. Mason Lidke in the 88. He's battling along with Derek Skladell in the 51. These guys continue to stay side by side. It's just going to open the gap here for Schmela and Ingram. As next time by, it's going to be 10 laps to go. Ingram tried to get a run on the outside, but he's going to tuck in line back behind the 01. And if you're Youngblood and Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez, you guys might just start getting single file here to catch up with this lead pack. They're still maintaining a good distance right now. Lap times last time by. Yeah, they need to get in single file if they want to get back up here toward the front. Looking over from the blimp cam here, 9 to go, and look at this gap. It is continuing to increase here with Schmela and Ingram. Those two are just starting to put themselves out front right now. They're up by 7/10 of a second over Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez. Seven cars still have a shot to win this thing here as Schmela continues to lead. Now that those group of cars are now single file, we'll see how much they can gain here on this front two with 8 to go. Right, Youngblood fall to the tail end of this pack. You also have Sebastian Sapien, Xavier Dawkins-Baptiste, and Felix Hammer. 8th, 9th, and 10th right here. Hoping for a miracle at this point. And there's Brian Post in the 64. I'm hoping he gets out of the way here for our leaders. And yes, he will. He stays all the way against the outside line. 7 to go this time. Like I talked about, they need to be single file. That's all is now catching up here to this front pack. White Youngblood has lost this pack as well, so we're basically down to 6 cars that can win this thing. Who is going to be willing to make the aggressive move and work their way toward the front? Chase Ingram has been very patient around this number 8 of Marty Schmela. As you see, Lane Sanders works his way up to P3. We typically see Lane Sanders here on these super speedway or pack racing type of tracks. He always seems to work his way toward the front. Is not afraid to make any moves. Not afraid to make aggressive moves. Good spot right now here in with 6 to go. Single file train here with 6 cars, 5 laps of racing to go here from Charlotte. Mason Lidke trying to make a move here in this 88. I think he's going to be left out to dry though. Trying to get his first career win here at Rebel Valley Sim Club. Gonna fall back in line. Not a smart move there from the 88. Gonna be 4 to go next time. Everyone's still trailing behind the 8 of Marty Schmela. Ingram's another driver that is known for aggressive pushing on these pack-style tracks. Continues to stay patient in line behind this number 8. Six miles remaining here from Charlotte. More contact with the 01 to the 8. How much of the pushing can this number 8 withstand here? And when will we see the moves being made? Marty Schmela out front here. Let's see, the 01 tries to make a move. He stays back in line. Schmela throws another block. Throws another one. He is just doing everything he can to stay out front. Contact between Lidke and Skladell right behind. Everyone's still pinpointed right now to that bottom line. Do not want to give this up late in the race. There is a real possibility. What if these 6 cars wreck? Do we see Felix Hammer or Sebastian Sapien come through the mess unscathed? And just in case these cars wreck, you never know what happens. And it's going to be 2 to go this time. Now down to 4 cars remaining. You see Liban Van Leer off of pit road in the 22. They're catching up to Brian Post in the 64. He is out of the way of these race leaders. What's going to happen here in this final lap? Marty Schmela out front of this number 8. Can he hold off the charge from the 01 of Chase Ingram? Ingram goes all the way down to the bottom. What a block thrown by Schmela. And it's the white flag this time by. How important is that bottom line? Marty Schmela went all the way to the infield just to protect his position. Contact with Slidell and Lane Sanders. We'll see if Chase Ingram's going to go to the outside. Yes, he does. Who's going to go with the 01? Big block thrown by Schmela. Look at Lane Sanders in the 17. And contact with Ingram. The leaders are going to crash. Who's going to come through unscathed? Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez, Mason Lidke. It's going to be Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez. What a finish here for race 2. From the tail end of the pack to the lead on the final lap, you never know what to expect. And Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez wins here at Charlotte. I know they call him Squeege, but I think he squeezed his way right through there to get a win here in Rebel Valley Sim Club. What an unbelievable finish here to recap the night. As Luigi's going to park it at the start-finish line, we'll see if we can get him in for an interview. He led the 1 lap that counted. That was that final lap. And with the in-season... Oh, wow, the 15 just destroyed him. But with the in-season tournament bracket, Derek Slidell will advance with his 5th place finish. And he will be going up against Aaron May in round number 2 next week at Michigan. What a night of racing here on this June 29th. 2 fantastic finishes, and we'll see if we can get Luigi in for an interview. All right, Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez, this is Ryan Wayne in the booth. You got a copy? Oh, give me 1 second. Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez, this is Ryan Wayne in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I got a copy, sir.
All right, you led the 1 lap that mattered tonight, and that was that final lap. You were the final car in that first pack, and just somehow was able to squeak your way through and get a win here in Rebel Valley Sim Club. Talk to us about everything that went down there on that final lap.
Let's see. Yeah, damage on the front end from the restart. I didn't realize that. We made a massive avoidance during the Brian Post incident, we're gonna call it, when he was on the side for like 10 laps. Took out my teammate who's a super speedway contender. Also took out one of my other friends from contention later in the race. Yeah, we were 6th. We were for most of that run like 3rd in line. I didn't realize, like I said, I didn't realize I had the front end damage. So when I got loose and Lane Sanders got under me and I couldn't get back to him despite being in the draft, I was like, ah. So that for like the final, like what, 10, 8, 6 laps, I just rode behind this entire pack. I figured something was going to happen between Ingram and Schmela because they always find themselves up in the front near the end. And Lane Sanders was there, so I knew he was going to be aggressive and do something. I wasn't expecting him to take it 3 wide underneath the apron and then nearly wipe himself out in Schmela. and Ingram. So watching that happen, I was like, oh. And then I'm like, wait, where's Scattle? Scattle gets put in the wall. 17's in the wall. It's me and the 88. I'll come back on the racetrack before anyone else does. So, and I take it home and I assert my dominance and win this race. I just can't believe it. That fell in my favor.
Yeah, it certainly did. It seemed like everything was just crashing apart right at the end, and you were able to squeak through and get a win. I believe this is what your second career win here in Rebel Valley. I know this is your first here this calendar year, but congratulations, Luigi. And anybody want to give a shout out to before we move, close out the night?
Got a bunch of people want to shout out to. You know, my boy LeBon Van Leer, who was in the session, Brian Post, Xavier Dawkins Bautista, Austin K. Mitchell. Jordan Zung is currently on vacation. He would have been with us today, but yeah. Moza Racing for giving me a steering wheel that that's really all I gotta say, man. Thank you for what you do, Ryan, putting up races, sessions, lobbies, everything you do. Thank you for keeping this little niche community alive.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming out, and once again, congratulations on your win.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, and that is Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez coming away with a win here at the end. Now, let's see if we can talk with one more person here on the broadcast. Let's see, we got Luke Gallagher and Brian Post. Chase Ingram's in here as well. We talked to him after Chicagoland. So let's see if we can talk with, let's start with Luke Gallagher in the 00. Luke Gallagher, this is Ryan Wayne in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Ryan.
All right, we saw you get spun around in that, well, looked like you got loose on that first caution. I'll have to go back and look at the results and see where you finished. Like you came home in P9 here tonight. I know some things, it was a little weird for you tonight. In round 1, you had your matchup didn't show up, so you're on to round number 2 at Michigan next week. But talk to us about your races tonight.
My first race was going a little bit less than stellar. I qualified like garbage, ran like garbage, finally got to the top 10 off pit strategy, and then Rex Jenkins decided to crash in front of me and not hold his brakes and destroy me, which was frustrating. And then this race, I was just picking a fight with turn 4 pretty much the whole time. I think I got sideways like 3 or 4 times, and then wrecked, somehow didn't get clobbered, and then decided that doing it once wasn't good enough and wanted to do it again. And also somehow didn't get destroyed. And then, I don't know if you saw the broadcast, but there was a point where a wreck happened coming off a 4, and I just decided to cut through the entirety of the tri-oval grass with my foot to the floor to not hit anything. Like, that street stock race had like 3 or 4 races worth of action for me in it.
Yeah, well, I did not catch that on the broadcast. We just saw probably the biggest block I've ever seen with Marty Schmela and Chase Ingram. I did not catch that on the broadcast, but either way, I'm glad you had fun tonight, and everybody want to give a shout out to before we close out the broadcast.
I guess just Aaron and Ingram for hanging out with me while we were doing the races. I was trying to get up to Ingram to work with him, just wasn't quite able. Actually, I was able to work with him for a little bit until I wrecked twice. So I love working with him on these super speedway style races. So I guess shout out to him. Too bad we weren't able to make it work good enough to get a win for one of us.
All right, looking ahead, you're going to be in round number 2. You're going to be going up against Marty Schmela next week at Michigan. What's going to be your plan of attack here to potentially pull off the upset?
Well, Michigan's not one of my stronger tracks, but with the 110% horsepower, I think it's going to come down to tire saving. I really think the thing I need to work on this week is probably qualifying, because I started so far back that even though I was saving, I just couldn't. You can't make up the ground you lose when you start 18th in a 20-car field. It's just too much to overcome. I think if I can qualify in the top 5 and manage my stuff, I can be there at the end to have a shot to get around Schmela, because I know he's going to be at the front because he's really good at a lot of these tracks.
Well, Luke, thank you for taking the time to come in for an interview, and congrats on your advance to the next round.
Thank you.
All right, and that's going to be Luke Gallagher in the 00 machine. He's going to advance to round number 2, finishes 9th here in race number 2. He'll be the number 9 seed going into next week. I have time for one more interview, and then I will close down the broadcast. We got Michael Good in here as well. He raced in race number 1. Michael Good, Mr. Ryan Wayne in the booth. You got a copy?
Hello.
All right, we didn't see you in race number 2. Race 1, you did start, say, around mid-pack. Talk to us about your race in race 1?
I actually started 5th, but then since I'm not home, I was actually racing on a controller. So for the most part, I was doing fine until I decided, you know what? Uh, since I'm not racing for like anything, nothing's on the line here. I'm gonna be like, if I hit the wall or like get any damage whatsoever, that's bad, and I know I might be just a hazard to the field. I'm gonna pull off and call it a day, and just go on and watch the rest of the race. I didn't show up for race 2 because I went to go take a shower, but after that, check back on the server, and apparently chaos broke loose for just a brief moment, but then everything got back together. So I guess I can say I just missed a lot.
Well, either way, we had a great night of races tonight. I would say I'm very impressed with both finishes here. Thank you for coming out here for race number 1 as well. Race next week is going to be at Michigan here for the in-season tournament for round number 2. I know you're one of the drivers not running in the in-season tournament, but what are your thoughts here on just potentially stealing a win next week at Michigan?
Ooh, Michigan. I'm very strong at Michigan. I feel like I have the chance. Now, hopefully by the time next week comes, well, I know for sure, I'll be at home, so I'll definitely be able to, you know, be a little stronger and possibly contend for the win here, even though I'm not in the in-season tournament. Just maybe mess with the brackets just a little bit, you know, just have a little bit of fun.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to do it for an interview, and we'll see you next week.
No problem.
All right, and that's going to be Michael Good, and that's going to be the final interview we're going to do tonight, and that's going to close out our racing here for tonight's action. Race number 1, amazing finish. Race number 2, exactly the same. Fantastic racing all night long here. This is the first week we did password protected racing. I'd say this is a wild success. I think going forward we'll be doing password protected races from now on. Fantastic racing all the way around. So we'll go ahead and review the bracket one more time just for the viewers here at home. Take a look here at kind of what to expect here for next week. Take a look at our live bracket now. So it's going to be Marty Schmela and Luke Gallagher facing off in round number 1, or round 2, excuse me. Down to 8 drivers. So it's going to be Marty Schmela and Luke Gallagher, Chase Ingram and Cameron Face, Daniel Mosteller and Elliot Condra, and Derek Skladell is going to be facing off against Aaron May. That'll be all next Monday at 7 o'clock p.m., 7:15 p.m. EST for the live stream. So make sure to tune in next Monday for Michigan, 50 laps around the 2-mile racetrack. Entertaining race for sure. We'll see which drivers will advance their way into the semifinals at Daytona in 2 weeks. And then we'll also cut the field down to 2 drivers at Kansas in 3 weeks. That is all the time we have here tonight. I have to head off here, but I want to thank you everyone for coming out for tonight's races. Congratulations to Daniel Mosteller, Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez, and all the drivers that advanced into round number 2 of the tournament. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight, and we'll see you guys next Monday in our next set of races. My name is Ryan Wayne.